Imagine you are a newborn, you are alone, you are terrified, and you are given a choice between two mothers. The first mother has food, she has milk, she has everything you need to physically survive, but she is made of cold, hard, razor-sharp wire. The second mother has nothing, no food, no milk, you will starve if you stay with her. But she is soft, she is warm, she has a face. Which one do you choose, the food or the warmth? In the 1950s, a scientist named Harlow forced baby monkeys to make this choice. He expected them to choose the food. He expected them to be logical. He was wrong. The babies chose to starve. They clung to the soft mother until they were physically dying, only running to the wire mother for a second to eat before screaming and running back to the warmth. It proved that love isn't transactional. It proved that isolation is worse than hunger. And in the end, the experiment didn't just break the monkeys. It exposed the darkness of the human soul. To understand the horror, you have to understand the era, the 1950s, the age of scientific parenting. Psychologists at the time were obsessed with a cold, hard truth. They believed that affection was a weakness. They told mothers, don't hug your children, don't kiss them goodnight. If you pick them up when they cry, you will spoil them. The prevailing theory was that love was just a transaction. The child only loves the mother because the mother provides food. It's a business deal, cupboard love. Enter Harlow, a man working at the University of Wisconsin who didn't buy it. He was a brilliant, abrasive, and somewhat alcoholic workaholic who looked at this cupboard theory and saw a lie. He noticed something strange in his lab. He was raising rhesus monkeys in isolation to keep them disease-free. He gave them diapers to sit on. When the scientists tried to take the diapers away to clean them, the baby monkeys fought back. They screamed. They clung to the dirty cloth diapers like their lives depended on it. Harlow realized something profound. The monkeys didn't care about the food. They cared about the texture. They were starving for touch. So he decided to test the limits of that hunger. He built the surrogate mother experiment. He constructed two grotesque effigies. One was a crude frame of wire mesh with a wooden head and a bottle of milk attached to the chest, the wire mother. The other was a block of wood covered in sponge rubber and soft terry cloth, the cloth mother. He put baby monkeys in cages with both. The results were instant and heartbreaking. The babies completely ignored the wire mother. They spent 18 to 22 hours a day clinging to the cloth mother. They would ride on her back. They would sleep on her chest. When they got hungry, they would run to the wire mother, drink the milk as fast as they could, and immediately sprint back to the cloth. It wasn't a choice. It was a desperate need. Harlow then added fear. He introduced a terrifying mechanical robot, a monster, into the cage, a loud, drumming bear that flashed lights. When the babies were scared, they didn't run to the corner. They didn't run to the food. They ran to the cloth mother. They buried their faces in her fake fur, and once they touched her, they calmed down. They became brave. They would even turn around and yell at the monster. The touch gave them courage. Without it, they were broken. But Harlow wasn't satisfied. He wanted to know, how much abuse will love tolerate? He created evil mothers. Cloth mothers that would blow freezing air at the babies. Mothers that would shake them violently. Mothers that had brass spikes pop out of their chests to stab the babies when they hugged them. And this is the part that will haunt you. The babies didn't leave. When the spikes popped out, the babies would jump away in pain. But the moment the spikes retracted, they went right back and hugged the machine that hurt them. They had nowhere else to go. If you think the wire mother was bad, you haven't seen the pit. Harlow eventually moved past the mothers. He wanted to study total isolation. He wanted to induce depression. He built a device he technically called the vertical chamber apparatus, but he casually referred to it as the pit of despair. It was a stainless steel funnel. The sides were too slippery to climb. The top was covered with mesh. The bottom was a wire grid. He took healthy, happy monkeys and dropped them in. For the first few days, the monkeys tried to climb out. They explored. They looked for a way to escape. But after a few days, they gave up. They stopped moving. They huddled in the corner. They stopped playing. Harlow left them there for 30 days. 6 months, even a year. When he finally pulled them out, they weren't monkeys anymore. They were oblivious to the world. If you put them in a room with other monkeys, they didn't socialize. They sat alone, rocking back and forth, clutching their own bodies. Some would tear their own hair out. Some would bite their own arms until they bled. They had been obliterated. Harlow proved that you can kill a living being without touching them. You just have to deny them connection. You just have to put them in a box with food but no love. When they tried to reintegrate these monkeys, it was impossible. The pit had rewired their brains permanently. They were socially dead. Harry Harlow's experiments were cruel. Many argue they were torture, but they revealed a biological truth that we are currently ignoring. Look at our modern world. Look at the dating market. Look at how we raise children. We have become obsessed with the wire mother. We tell men, you must be a provider. You must have resources. You must have the milk. We tell women to look for the high-value man with the wallet. We have built a society based on transaction. We think if we provide food, shelter, and iPhones, we have done our job. But look at the result. We have the highest rates of depression in history. We have millions of men who are touch-starved, living in total isolation, interacting only with screens. The screen is the new wire mother. It gives you information. It gives you content. It gives you dopamine. But it is cold. It is hard. And it doesn't hug you back. Harlow proved that a baby would rather starve than live without warmth. Today we are surrounded by infinite calories, infinite entertainment, and infinite milk, but we are starving to death. We didn't learn from the monkeys. We just built a bigger, shinier pit of despair. And this time, we climbed in voluntarily.